Hi everyone and welcome to Flow Free Friday. Today's class is a sweaty power yoga class. Grab your blocks, water and a towel and meet me back on your mat. So come into a comfortable seated position, making any adjustments you need, working out any kinks, and settle down into your posture. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Find your natural breath rhythm. And then use your hands to help guide you. Breathe into your belly, into your rib cage, and lastly into your chest, and then exhale fully through your nose. Do this a few more times to really develop your breath pattern for your practice. Making sure you're not pinching your nostrils as you inhale and allowing the breath to flow freely in and out. Bring your hands into prayer. Take a big breath in. Exhale, push your hands down. Inhale, reach your hands away from you. Follow your hands all the way up. Exhale, palms meet. Bring them down towards the floor. Interlock your fingers once you past your heart and continue to flow. Inhaling, reaching your arms up above your head. Bring your palms together, exhale. Inhale as you reach out, pushing through your wrist, not your fingers. Palms meet and exhale, interlock your fingers once you pass your heart. A couple more times, moving at your pace, following your breath. Place your right hand down by your side. Inhale, lifting up, your left arm to the sky. Exhale over to your right. Inhale back through center. Exhale to release your hand to the floor. Inhale, reach up, and exhale over to your left. Inhale back to center, and exhale to release. Coming into a twist, placing your left hand on your right knee, right hand comes behind you. Take an inhale here, and exhale as you twist, moving from your belly, ribs and chest. Slowly unwind, moving from belly, ribs and chest back through center. Placing your right hand on your left knee and your left hand behind you. Take an inhale, exhaling, drawing your ribs in. Draw your left shoulder blade towards the middle of your spine and reach your right shoulder blade away from the middle of your spine just to deepen your twist. Avoid using your hand on your thigh to crank yourself deeper into the twist. Inhaling to slowly unwind belly, ribs, and chest. Take an inhale and reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you hinge at your hips and coming into a forward bend. Take a big breath in and exhale, walk your hands back. Change the cross of your legs and we'll do the forward fold again. You might notice it feels a little bit different on this side. It certainly does for me. Inhale, reach up and exhale, walk your hands forward, come into your fold. Take a big breath in and exhale, slowly release, walking your hands back. Remove any props you may be sitting on, place them off to the side. Place your hands behind you, fingers can point out. Keep a nice bend in your knee. And slowly windshield wiper your knees from side to side, just loosening up our hips. Pause on one side, hold it there for a couple of breaths, and then change sides. This is great for improving hip mobility. Make your way onto your hands and knees and prepare for cat-cow. Feel free to move around in whatever way feels good for you in cat-cow. Shifting forward or shifting back, or you can keep it simple. Rounding through your spine as you come into your cat pose, protracting through your shoulder blades, bringing your chin to your chest, and your pubic bone comes up towards your belly button. Inhaling to lift your sitting bones up and reaching your heart forward, lifting your gaze, coming into cow pose. Moving with your natural breath. Pause here, hold cat pose. And then slowly come into cow pose and pause here. Hi there, Miko. Keeping your legs parallel, uncurl your toes if they were curled under, sit back into extended child's pose. Oh dear. Miko's joined me for practice. But I'm just gonna ask him to just move out of the way. Oh dear, he makes it very difficult to move him. Good, so getting ready to create some heat and strength in our body. So inhale into your kneeling plank, shifting forward slightly. Exhale, lower into chaturanga. Inhale to push straight up to plank and exhale to sit back. You want to keep your knees down for this. This is the beginning of our practice, so we're still warming up, still feeling how our body is responding to these movements. We really want to be gentle with ourselves and honor that. You can do as many or as little of these as you wish. I believe I did 5 reps here, maybe less. Was feeling quite tired to begin with. It's really, really important to listen to the feedback. Curling your toes under and preparing for downward facing dog. Just march it out a little bit here, stretching out the back of your legs, maybe moving your hips a bit from side to side, finding stillness. And on your next in-breath, coming forward into plank pose. Exhale, push yourself away from the mat. Come up onto your tiptoes, protract through your shoulders, and then slowly release into plank. Exhale, pushing up into high plank, squeeze, pull everything in, squeeze these tight as you can, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, pull your ribs in, and release. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat and step, or you can hop to the top of your mat, find your forward fold. Inhale and slowly reverse swan dive up to stand, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. You can stay at the top of your mat, or you can come and face alongside of your mat. Inhale as you reach your arms up, step out to your right. Exhale, sit down into your squat. Inhale back to center, exhale, sit down into chair. So we're moving in from a chair into a side squat, back to chair and side squat again. Matching the movement with your breath. You can play with how you use your arms here. Warming up your shoulders, so circling arms through is a great way to go. And squat as low as you can maintain proper form. Keeping your chest lifted, ribs in, weight is in your heels. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, sit back chair. Inhale, step out to your left. Exhale, squat down. Inhale back through center. And exhale, sit back in chair, and now hold your chair. If your arms are feeling tired, drop your arms to shoulder height, palms are facing down. You're squeezing your glutes, drawing your inner thighs strongly towards each other and pulling your ribs in. Feel the burn. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, bringing your hands to your heart. Once again, have to move Miko out of the way. We're preparing for our sun salutations. So make your way to the top of your mat. Feet at hip width distance here, hands at your heart, strong mountain pose. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, hinging at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat, place your right knee down. So I'm doing the modified version first. However, if you wish, you can keep your knees off of your mat if you're ready to work a little bit more. Lowering into your chaturanga, coming all the way down, finding cobra pose here. And exhaling back into child's pose. Avoid, oh dear, he's made himself comfortable. Inhale as you step your right foot to the top of your mat. Draw your ribs in, squeeze your inner thighs, hands at your heart. Exhale to step your left foot forward, find your forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, sit back chair. As you will notice, I will change my hand placement from time to time. And this has everything to do with how you might be feeling in your shoulders or how you might be feeling in general. So it's perfectly fine to have your arms extended as I have here, as I have mine here, or you can choose to bring your hands to your heart center. Many, many options. Okay, so this is ridiculous now. Forgive me. Just moving Miko out of the way so we can get on with our practice. Okay, here we go. So from coming back into child's pose, shift forward into your plank. Remember, knees can be down or not. Lower into chaturanga. Find your cobra pose or maybe upward facing dog. And exhaling into extended child's pose. Stepping your left foot to the top of your mat, sweeping your arms up. Exhale to step forward into your forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your right foot back. So here's a version now with your knees off. Crescent lunge or high lunge. Plant your palms and step back into downward facing dog. Inhale into your high plank, shift forward slightly, lower into chaturanga. Pressing yourself up, shoulders back and down, chin level with the floor, upward facing dog. Exhale as you push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to step your right foot to the top of your mat, find your lunge. And exhale, use the power of your back leg to step forward into your forward fold. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, sit back, chair. Last time on the left side, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale and step your left foot way to the back of your mat. Nice deep lunge. Exhaling, planting your palms and stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, plank pose. Yep, you can modify. Lower your knees to the floor. Come into chaturanga. Find your cobra pose. And exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the top. Find your lunge pose here. Plant your fingertips and step forward into your forward bend. Inhale, big breath in. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, sit back. Find chair pose. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep your arms around and up. Exhale, fold your body in half. Plant your palms, so bend your knees as much as you need to, and step back to plank pose. You want your wrist to be your shoulders to be over your wrist and your heels over your toes. Really push yourself away from your mat. Pull your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands and pull your ribs in. Glutes and legs are firing up. Moving into side plank. To modify, place your right knee down, kickstand your foot off to the side of your mat and roll onto the sole of your left foot. Gaze can be down at your fingertips. Come back to center. You can come into plank pose here. You can choose to keep your knees down or you can stay in your full plank. Moving on to the other side, kickstanding your left leg off to the side of your mat, rolling onto the sole of your right foot. You're squeezing into your midline, pressing strongly into your fingertips, not putting all the weight into the heel of your hands. Come back through center, hold your plank, and press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up to the sky for three-legged dog, and swing your right foot to the top of your mat. Reach your arms up to the ceiling and sink into your pose. Another modification here for your arms if they're feeling tired is to come into cowboy surrender. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Reach your fingertips behind you. Reach through the crown of your head as you push strongly through the sole of your left foot. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Pull your ribs in. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, plant your palms. And step back, downward facing dog. Inhale and come forward into plank pose. Hold it here. So we did the modified for the first round. Second set, full plank, full side plank. However, you're free to modify as you need. Roll onto the baby toe side of your left foot. Push your hips up, squeeze your glutes, pull your ribs in. Smile if you're feeling happy here. You're stacking your feet, come back through to your plank pose, readjust as you need to. I think Miko's tail is in the way, so I'm trying not to roll onto it. Yep, I'm having a bit of difficulty trying to move it out of the way. And this time I have one foot in front of the next. On the other side, I had feet stacked. So this is also a great alternative. Hold your side plank. Come back through plank. Add in a push-up if you're feeling super, super strong. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up. And exhale, step your left foot by your left thumb. Make sure that you are at hip width distance to help maintain a nice stable lunge pose. Lift your right inner thigh up, push strongly into the balls of your right foot, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, pull your ribs in. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. Exhale, reaching your fingertips to the back of your mat. Kind of like, if you think of a dart or torpedo, super strong. So there's a line from the heel all the way to the back of your head. Nice long line. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. You have the option to flow or rest. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra pose. Exhale, press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths in here. You can always take a sip of water if you need it. Inhale, right leg reaches up. And exhale, step your right foot by your right thumb. Give yourself a moment to stabilize here. Sweep your arms up and exhale, sink into your lunge. Bring your hands to your heart. Hinge at your hips. Again, creating that diagonal line from the heel all the way to the back of your head. Take an inhale and exhale. Come into twisted prayer lunge. You might feel like your hip wants to pop out to the sides. I want you to think about bringing your right hip back and your right butt cheek over to your left to keep your hips and pelvis square. Spin your back heel around and down and come into warrior two, maintaining a nice deep lunge. So your left fingertips are reaching back, right fingertips are reaching forward. Coming into five-pointed star, picking your toes up. Toes are slightly facing out, heels in. Turn your palms to face up. Take an inhale, exhale, sit back into horse stance. Or some of you may know this as sun pose or goddess pose. You're squeezing your inner thighs towards each other while squeezing your glutes. Yeah, Phil, that was tough. Come back through your warrior two, so your right toes are facing to the front, left toes will stay facing alongside of your mat. Cartwheel your hands down towards your mat and step back, plank pose. Knees down, lower into your chaturanga, inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat by your left thumb. Stabilizing here and sweep up. Bring your hands to your heart. Getting ready for second side. Hinging forward, taking an inhale. Exhale, twisting over to your left. Adjusting your hips, so pulling your left hip back and your left butt cheek over to your right, keeping your hips and pelvis square. Lifting your right inner thigh up. Draw your left shoulder blade to the back of to the middle of your spine, Reach your right shoulder blade forward to deepen your twist. Slowly release. Pop your back heel down, bending deeply through your left knee, coming into warrior two on your second side. Left arm is reaching forward. Right fingertips reaching back. Arms are at shoulder height. Ribs are pulling in. Come into five-pointed star. Interlace your fingers behind you. This time your feet are parallel. Inhale to lift your heart up. Exhale, hinging at your hips, coming into a forward fold with a shoulder stretch. If you're taking care of your shoulder, you can always choose to release your hands to the floor and just do a regular forward fold. You want your head to be heavy, your neck is loose. You should be able to shake your head out no or nod your head yes. Let gravity help bring your hands further to the floor or closer to the floor. A little bit of bend in your knee. Inhale, come all the way up, nice and easy. Exhale, release. Come back to warrior two. Take a full breath in here. Full breath out. Cartwheel your hands down to your mat and step your left foot back. Find downward facing dog. Inhaling into your plank pose. Shift forward slightly, bringing your shoulders in line with your fingertips. Lower into chaturanga, pressing up into up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Just moving Miko's tail there. Take a few breaths here. Have water. Wipe your brow. Wish I had a towel. Inhale, reach your right leg up. As you exhale, you're shifting forward and bringing your knee to your forehead, forehead to your knee. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, shift forward. Shoulders will be over your wrists. Great core exercise. Pulling your ribs in, rounding your spine. Reach up as you inhale. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold it here. And now place your right foot down. Whew, really feeling this. I'm sweating like crazy. Come on up. Preparing for warrior 3 with your hands at your heart center. So just adjusting here to make sure that I'm still in the frame. Good. So you want to fix your gaze on a point just a little bit further in front of you, maybe to the top of your mat or just beyond. Find your balance. Keep a little bit of a bend in your standing leg. As you're reaching your heart forward, you want to push through the sole of your left leg. Keep it steady. Whoops. I don't know where my mind went. I think I heard something just now. So this is a perfect example of what happens when you allow your mind to wander and you leave your mat. You lose your balance. You lose your focus. Slowly start to come to standing position and bring your left knee up. Now it doesn't have to be as high as your hip. It could be a little bit lower, or you could even place, hey, it looks like my foot is on the block. So there you go. You could even place your foot upon a block. Take your right hand and place it on the outside of your left thigh. Get your hitchhiker thumb ready and slowly start to open up your chest to the long side of your mat. You want to be able to keep your eye on your thumb. So if you find that you're straining to see your thumb, bring your arm further forward. Root down through your standing leg, pull your ribs in. Really strong through your legs and your glutes. Very slowly, very carefully, come all the way back to the front. Bring your hands back to your heart. Come through your warrior 3 once again. So you're reaching your heart forward as you push to reach to the back of your mat. You want to find your mat with your toes. Beautiful. Spin your back heel around and down. Find your warrior 2. So left fingertips are reaching back, right fingertips are reaching forward. Reverse your warrior here. Take an inhale. And exhale, shift your body weight forward and place your fingertips just a few inches over to the right side of your right foot, coming into balancing half moon, transitioning into sugarcane pose. Grabbing a hold of the top of your left foot, kicking into your hand. Keep kicking, keep reaching. Slowly release it, bending your knees. Dropping your left foot back, sliding your hands back, and stepping back to downward facing dog. It's like every time I move Miko's tail, it gets back in the way again. So let's go over to second side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, shift forward, round, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Do about 3 to 4 of these. I'm actually starting to slip. I'm sweating so much. I don't know why I didn't grab a towel. Completely slipped me. Stabilizing here and it's really important to have a stable lunge. So you want to make sure it's a lot of sweat. You want to make sure your feet are at hip width and you're firmly planted. So it's even more challenging to balance now because my mat is getting sweaty. But here we go. Let's see how it goes on this side. Fingers crossed. So keeping a bend in your left knee, reaching through your heart center, the crown of your head, and pushing strongly through. Just slowly. Now, what happens here is your right hip of the leg that's extended. The leg that's extended, that hip is going to want to lift up. So just try to drop your hip down. Think about your baby toe pointing to the floor. Keep your eyes on your focal point. Keep your breath smooth and steady. Slowly start to transition into your standing posture, bringing your knee up to hip height or just below. Your left hand is coming on the outside of your right knee or thigh. Hitchhiker thumb, take an inhale as you slowly prepare. Exhale, come into your twist. Really root down through your standing leg. Glutes are super fired up here. And then making your way back to the center in front of your mat. Preparing to go through our warrior 3 into our Warrior 2 and reverse warrior. Reaching for your mat with your toes, popping your heel down. Find your warrior 2 here, reverse your warrior, transitioning to balancing half moon. You want your wrist to be underneath your shoulder here for half moon and transition into sugarcane pose. Grabbing a hold of the top of your foot, kicking into your hand, stacking your right hip on your left, right shoulder on the left, opening up. It's a beautiful pose. I love sugarcane pose. Slowly release your fingertips to the floor. Find your mat with your right toes. Walk your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. Step back, downward facing dog. Now remember, you can rest or flow with me. Come forward into plank, shift forward slightly, lower into your chaturanga. Inhale, press up, upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Time for a little bit of a rest. So bringing yourself all the way down onto your mat. Coming into child's pose. You can bring your arms by your side with your palms facing up and allow your shoulder blades to just melt off the side of your back. Whew, that was pretty tough. You can see my skin is glistening. Can't believe how much this made me sweat. So you're slowing your breath down here. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And slowly roll up. Just going to do a little bit of a back bend here. Play with camel pose a little bit. And if you find it difficult to sit like this, you can always stack a block or 2 blocks or maybe even 3 and have a seat on them just to lessen the degree of the angle at your knee. So resting your fingertips behind you, or you can place them on your lower back. My arms are quite long, so I have my hands on the floor. You want to just think about lifting your heart up. So you're stretching the front side of your belly and reaching back towards the back of your mat with the crown of your head. You should be able to swallow easily here. If you find it difficult to swallow when you're in your back bend, you want to come back forward a little bit or come forward a little bit so that you can swallow freely. Let's play with another variation here. You can tuck your toes under. And again, you could keep the blocks here, but if it's fine, you can remove your blocks. You could stay seated with your toes tucked under or come into a kneeling position. Same principle as before. Knees stacked under hips. You're lifting your chest up, stretching the front side of your body. Shoulders are soft, so we're not drawing the shoulders back. They're in neutral. And you're reaching through the crown of your head. See if you can swallow or say your name. If you can't, you want to bring your chin forward a little bit closer towards your chest. Slowly release it. And sit back. Just pause here for a moment. Now swing your legs around. We're coming into, this is a pose that I actually quite like, but I'm not sure why I don't practice it more often. But now we're coming into revolved head to knee pose. So we're extending the left leg and you're bending your right knee. Place your left arm, so your forearm is on the ground and is perpendicular to the inside of your left thigh. You can keep it like that or extend your forearm alongside the inside of your thigh. Your right hand can stay on your right knee, or you can place it on your lower back, or you can reach your fingertips up towards the sky, or reach towards your toe. If you've got the flexibility to hold on to the sole of your foot with your left hand and hold on to your big toes with your right hand, go for it. As long as you are still feeling the rotation, your gaze is up at the ceiling. If you're binding your finger, you can think about looking up towards your bind. Just really play with it. You're going to stay there for a couple of breaths and then inhale, slowly come back up, and exhale, come back through center. Changing sides, figuring out how I can do this without, nope, have to move Miko again. Oh my goodness. Good, nice cushy place for my foot. So changing sides, adjusting as you need to. You want to feel your sitting bones grounded here. Taking an inhale and reaching forward. So this time I'm going to hold on to the the ball of my foot, the big toe of my foot with my right hand, and I'm reaching towards my toes with my left arm. This is an incredible side body stretch. This feels amazing. I might stay here for an extra breath. So just as you got into the pose, you'll come out, you'll inhale, come through your side bend, and then exhale to release your twist. So inhale, coming back up, and exhale to release. Bring the soles of your feet together, creating a long diamond shape. Take your hands and weave them underneath your calves and wrap your hands around and cover the tops of your feet. Tuck your chin into your chest. Take an inhale and exhale, round forward. And just breathe here. This feels amazing, especially after such a tough practice. On your next inhalation, slowly roll up, and exhale, let it go. Whew. So we're come onto your back. Just draw your knees into your chest. Try to keep your low back and sacrum on your mat as you draw your knees in. We're going to do a little bit of core work. So extend your legs fully and bring them together. Reach your arms above your head, place one palm in the next. Nod your chin and bring your head and shoulders up. And now lift your legs up. You're going to slowly hold this and now scissor your legs. Keep them super straight. Keep pressing your lower back into the mat, pulling your ribs in. Keep scissoring, inhaling and exhaling. You're doing 20 reps. Come back to center and now crisscross your legs. Keep holding it, keep reaching. Keep the connection of your lower back to your mat. 20 of these as well. Come back through center. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Reach. And release. I only did one set, but you are more than welcome to do 2 more rounds. Getting ready for a bridge pose. So you want to bend your knees, keeping your feet at hip width distance. When you're ready, take an inhale and press into your feet and lift your hips up. Exhale, hold it here. You can stay here, or if you want to increase your back bend, just shimmy your shoulders down and underneath you. Press into your triceps and lift your chest up higher. Magnetize your inner thighs towards each other to prevent your knees from opening out or splaying out to the side, and keep your chin away from your chest. You want to avoid tucking your chin to your chest. If anything, bring your chest to your chin. You can think about pressing the back of your head into the mat gently. On your next inhalation, or when you're ready, slowly lower your hips back down. Exhale, let it go. Walk your feet as wide as your mat and move your arms slightly away from your body. Lift your bum up and shift your hips over to the left. Lower yourself onto your right hip and let your knees come all the way over to your right. You can take your right foot and place it on top of your left thigh to deepen the twist. And if it feels okay in your neck, go ahead and look over to your left. Both shoulder blades should be supported on your mat. For me, it feels nice to have my elbows bent so the back of my hands are on the floor. Stay here for a few breaths. Then you slowly come back to center. Reset yourself so you're squarely on your back once again. Shimmy your hips over to your right to lower yourself onto your left hip. So the option of bringing your foot up onto the opposite thigh is entirely up to you. It just helps to deepen the stretch. So if you are feeling plenty by just having your knees over to one side, you could stay there. And again, looking in whatever direction feels most comfortable for your neck. Slowly release it, reset yourself so you're squarely on your mat once again. Bring the soles of your feet together. So we have two choices here for Shavasana, or three rather. You can come into Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly, supporting your knees with blocks on either side if you don't want to overstretch your inner thigh muscles. Or you can walk your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees fall in, stretching your outer thighs. Or you can keep it traditional and extending your legs fully, one foot to each corner of your mat, arms slightly away from your body. And then you can bring one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and guide yourself through deep belly breathing as you drift off into Shavasana. Stay there for as long as you need, just breathing, enjoying the flow of your breath. Whew, that was a great practice. I want to thank you again so much for trusting me to guide you through your practice today and for sharing your energy with me. Be free, be true, be you. Namaste. And Miko's fast asleep.